So we open at this beautiful resort in Italy. We got beaches and honks. And we've got a white girl spraying herself down with suntan lotion. So she's telling these two girls that just got there she's leaving in a few hours, but she had the best time. So she go to get in the water one last time after she told them how fabulous the hotel is. So this heifer finds a body in the water while she's swimming. She screams for help. Oh, so now the hotel owners are talking and they find out that not just one person's drowned, but more bodies have been found. The chief wants to know how many. So we flash back to a week earlier. So we got Aubrey Plaza and her man arriving to the resort, and the blonde girl with her man getting there too. Okay, we got two older gentlemen and one twink, and we got Jennifer Coolidge too. So now we're on shore with two brown-headed girls. One girl's upset Massimo and moved on to a new heifer. Her friend tell her, look, don't be romantical when it's time to be practical. So the boat arrives to the resort and we've got the staff there waiting to greet them like it's Fantasy Island. The boss Valentina upset with the staff. Why you got such a small tray for 10 guests? We need more champagne. So these two girls that we saw earlier talking about Mateo or whoever, they waiting for some man on this boat, but they don't know who. Oh, so these are ladies of the evening. They don't think it's the coot. Valentina, the hotel manager, is quite rude. She tell the coot, I'm surprised the coot could make a trip this far. Now, it's one thing to call a coot on a roast video. It's another thing to say it to their face when they paying. And him and his party are like, oh, really? Okay. But she just goes on welcoming. So they watching everybody else get off the boat, and they see the two cute guys that was with Aubrey Plaza and the blonde heifer, and they like, So all three of them get glasses except for Aubrey. She's like, I'll wait. Her man's like, you don't want what? No. Okay. That's the energy she gonna be giving off. So her man just go on and hand her a glass since it's awkward. She's like, oh, okay, cheers. And laughs off the boat is heifer for Coolidge. So Jennifer's telling the manager how she's worked her way up to Blossom, which is, I guess, a higher tier. Oh, and Jennifer's husband is already there, but he hasn't been responding to her. Okay, so the hotel is named after a heifer who cut off a man's head because he was cheating on her. So the two couples have connecting rooms, and Aubrey's like, nah, we ain't using that. However, the other couple seem quite excited. So the manager goes to take the white couple to their room, and Audrey and her man are now in the room alone together, and ooh, she don't seem like she happy to be here. Whenever she says something, it dries up conversation. Over with the coot group, we can see him throwing himself at the woman who's showing them their room, and the son and the twink are trying to run interference so they don't get slapped with a lawsuit. They telling her they actually from Sicily, but now they live in America. So they leave the coot in his room to go to their own rooms. The dad goes to sleep and the twink goes to the pool. I guess he's getting on in years and this is probably a last family vacation. Across the resort, we have Jennifer Coolidge meeting her man. Oh, goodness, she done brought her assistant? I thought that was her daughter. He wanted a romantic trip. He said, look, get rid of her. You ain't gotta be rude to the heifer. She gonna tell her, stay close but lay low and don't come out of your room. Bump that. I'm staying at another resort. Back with Aubrey and her man, she's saying he's changed since he sold his company and got rich. However, Aubrey thinks that the other couple is being fake and phony because they're so touchy-feely. But why would you marry somebody you didn't want to touch and feel up on? That don't make no sense. You don't want to touch your husband? He fine. So Aubrey don't trust the reason they invited them here. She thinks they want money. Downstairs at the front desk, Valentina, the manager, sees the hussies that was watching the boat come in, and she runs over. Who y'all here to see? What's the guest's name? They like, he's American? Child, they said, Tom Cruise. She said, I know you and I know why you're here. Not in my hotel. Meanwhile, the grandpappy's son calls his wife, and she ain't really got time for this conversation. He wished she was there. She's glad she's not. Girl, she ended that phone call with the cuss out of a lifetime. It is over, and don't ring my phone no more. With the assistant at the pool, she calling her friend upset she got to stay in her room. Oh, Lord, so she needs to get some dick, and here comes the twink. Here come the twink. Oh, Lord, I don't know if I could deal with the Aukie Boo and the attitude of Audrey every time they come on screen. But they back. And the other guy tells Aubrey, oh, I know your friend from law school, and she says congratulate him on not getting disbarred. Over with the twink, he trying to start up conversation with the assistant. But as they flirt, his grandpappy come out and then he fall. Back with Heifer for Coolidge, she's getting ready for her evening. Downs a glass of wine as she finishes her makeup. So she struts out to her husband, and child, he puts his nose in a book to avoid the bussy. But he's like, okay, I guess we can go. Let me take a shower first. However, back with our happy/dour couples, Aubrey said she couldn't sleep because of the state of the world, and the other couple said, child, we don't watch the news no more, but the world ain't ending. Aubrey's man is like, you don't follow the news? He's like, I'm too of color to not follow the news now. So Aubrey asks her, what do you do all day? She says, well, I'm home with the kids. She's like, oh, right. Kids, plural? She home with kids, plural? That's full time. She never get a minute off. That home is her prison. A full-time mama. Clap it up. I couldn't do it. I couldn't deal with one for 2 hours all day. Barney, lamb chop, kids bop. Oh, now that's torture. So then this heifer starts talking about her true crime podcast habit, and it seems like she gonna offer man. Girl, these are the most well-written awkward conversations. Okay, so now we got Ashley and the husband going up to get swim trunks and sunscreen so they can get a swim in, while her man and his wife stay downstairs. Jennifer and her man getting it in. Is Ashley gonna hump that husband? I bet you she humped him prior and just don't want to say nothing. Okay, but then Jennifer pushes her man off of her because she kept seeing that weird head. She said, I must have been disassociating. I saw all of these men with flamboyant hairstyles. What am I watching? So afterwards, he yelled at her for eating all the macaroons because she want to lose weight. The twink go to tell his dad that No-No fell by the pool. So they gonna put No-No in his room since he hit his head. Meanwhile, we got the two ladies of the evening still trying to get into the hotel to hoe. So the one girl tell the other, we should do a threesome and charge him double. It'll be easy. The other girl like, we friends, I don't need to see your coochie. She's still in love with Massimo. Her friend's like, don't be such a romantic. Okay, but the guard's gone, so they try to slip in again. It's dinner time at the hotel. We got a guy singing. I don't know if I need to hear that while I'm eating. Cut to the ladies of the evening preparing for their evening in the bathroom. The one girl does the other one's makeup and she says, I look like a whore. The other girl says, exactly. We ain't here for the food. We're here for the phallus. So Jennifer and her man walk up to dinner and she see the assistant. So Jennifer tell her to hide behind her menu. Just over with the grandpappy and his family. He flirting with the waitress and his son is so irritated. Child, the son gonna say, you think you got a chance with any of these women? You 80. He said, I'm still a man. Never know when one of them might want some coot cock. He said, coot cock, boop, 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 boop. Lord, now we having a whole geriatric sex conversation and he telling his grandson, the twink, yeah, it still worked. Oh my God. Okay, how old is this twink? How old is this twink? Because the pappy had to tell him 50 ain't that old. Then the twink gonna say, well, who wants to look at an old penis? And the pappy say, well, it was a penis to begin with, not a sunset. It looked how it looked. It's the feeling that's the factor. Okay, and now in come the hoes. Oh, Lord. Oh. Right when it kind of gets enjoyable, then we got to go back to this awkward couple. So, of course, the one guy, I don't even know what his name is. The one in the yellow shirt, the Chip, the one that was naked in front of Aubrey Plaza. He notices the hookers and starts making fun of Ethan for not having more sex in college because he was always studying. However, then he backpedals and pussy pops and he's like, oh, well, you could have had sex in college. I do you. You just never came out of your room because you was always working, not twerking. But then him and Aubrey get to arguing over are they going to split the fish because she thinks it's going to be too fishy, but he wants the fish. Go on and order the fish. Let her have the salads. But after awkward, we get back to Jennifer Coolidge, who's silently mouthing at her assistant, go to your room. This is like a mix of secondhand embarrassment and secondhand awkwardness and hilarity. But it's definitely awky boo. I'm like, I'm not even there. Why do I feel awkward? So the assistant takes her food up to her room and insta-stalks the twink, while the twink's sitting next door with his grandpapa farting in the bed. Oh, and we see the hoe is heading to the father's room, and that's why he couldn't bunk with his pappy. Downstairs, the other girl's being entertained by that bad singer. So he asks her how much while she trying to connect to him as a singer. And she like, nah. Over with our awkward couple. We got the one couple having fun with each other, running around tickling, while Aubrey's reading in bed with her man. So she tell him, by the way, I saw your friend Penis. And he said, well, he was just getting changed. Over with Jennifer Coolidge, her man talking to somebody on the toilet. He says it's work. But she show him she only ate the 2 macaroons and says eat them. And he's like, I don't want them now, I'm on the phone. So she walked back to the lonely bed. Over with the twink's pappy and the hoe. They share a Prosecco. So they hump and that was the episode. I'ma see you soon for something.